Hold on to your ghosts.
Oh yes, the battle lines have been drawn.
Amuse me, Traveler Spawn.
You're on the edge of victory. Annihilate them.
As if my life wasn't hard enough already.
If you think this armor is impressive, you should see me out of it.
Hey, welcome, Guardians, to Fireteam Misadventure, our really fun Destiny show I've been wanting to do for a while, and I've joined the best clan to do it with. Let me just tell you guys that right now. Because I have clan jumped since Destiny 1 days, and I've not found something I really liked. It. So if you guys watch my shows or Kaiju Live videos, you know I can talk. I love doing what I do. But I'm finally getting to follow my dream and do a Destiny show. And I'm really excited about it because if you watch Super Gamer Bros, you know it's Destiny and Space Channel 5. That's like my two shows, like my games. Give a drinking game for a year, by the way. For those who don't know. Every time I mention Space Channel 5 or Destiny, you had to take a shot, and we had to stop that. So, I'm very happy to be presenting Fireteam Misadventure to you guys. This is our pilot episode. Have a little fun. You'll see some change over time, so you know. But I'm one of your hosts, Slayton. That is my gamer tag on Xbox. I am a tried and true warlock since the beta days, and I'm joined by some other amazing members from the Bullet Heads clan on Destiny. Let's start with Maddie.
Hi, I'm Maddie. I am a hunter only, not just a main, only, no other characters, just a hunter.
My girl.
I've been in Bullet Heads since the beginning. I got lucky. I found Bullet Heads my first try, getting into a clan, and I've been there ever since May of 2018, actually. Loved every minute of it. It was a really great place to come into, learn how to raid, and now I raid all the time. I want to learn how to be a better PvP player, which my clan solely provides some training. You'll see these two faces here. And yeah, other than that, I just love everything about Destiny and just want to play more. I'm going to pass it to Brad.
Hey, y'all. I'm Arctic, or Brad. I've been in Bullet Heads since last November, come and gone here and there. I love Destiny. I love everything about it, PvE, but I've always been a PvP player. So if you see me on the screen, unfortunately, my face is not really made for it. But
I still love you, bro.
I appreciate it. Yeah, you'll hear me talking about PvP more than anything else. So I love it, and it'll be going over to Mr. DP.
Yes, that is DP. I'll let you guess what it stands for. The only one who's ever guessed is Arctic here, and he won a $50 gift card for Xbox. I think that went on for about 4 months, maybe, I think, until your wife got it, which you should have gave her the $50. Now, name's Real DP. I've been playing since, D1 day one. I did a lot of raiding in D1, a little bit of PvP, came to D2. Love it. All I do is really PvP anymore. I'm in two different sub clans. One on PC for Bullet Heads, which is Team 2, Let's Go, and Bravo for Xbox, which currently I'm not on. I'm sorry, Arctic. I'm sorry, but my favorite part of Destiny. My favorite part of Destiny is definitely the PvP side because of the build you can pull off, which I know you can do in PvE, but PvP is you never know what's going to happen, and that's what I enjoy. So, I guess
I'm in the boat with Maddie. I don't do much PvP. Like in Destiny, when I did all the raids, but I couldn't do any of the raids in Destiny 2, and now I'm getting caught up. Like I got one in the morning, I think, with you, Arctic, really early. And it's the last of the year 1 or 2 raids, so I'm really excited. But like I've been being chirped by iFireman for a while, and he's like, I really want to teach you to do PvP. So at some point in time, I'm gonna sit down, and he and I are gonna go learn to do PvP because he's like you guys, he lives in it. But I'm just like,
Yeah.
I'll go when it's like mayhem because it's unlimited superpowers, and that is just bat guano crazy. Like I love like just supers everywhere. You
Is
see
it-
purple balls come around corners and like fire axes. Like I ain't going over there.
So over PvE and PvP, why do you enjoy PvE more? Like, for the both of you, because you don't die as much, or
No, I think for me it's more of the camaraderie. Like we're playing together. I've never necessarily been like what I would call a higher tier kind of a player. I never played the Halo PvP.
I didn't
Although
either.
I love the story of Halo. So, I mean, that game. But I don't enjoy Call of Duty. I've never been a PUBG or whatever kind of a player. I think it's the story. And to me, when I get into PvP, it's just like, yeah, my skills are and your skills are up here. And so I'd rather just play with other people who just want to have a good time and go and raid but
You
there's
know where
times
the
I
enemies
play
are gonna
by
be?
myself too. So I'm not saying I don't want to learn how to be a better PvP player. Maybe it's a situation of patience.
It's
I'm
a
not
mindset.
patient.
Yeah.
It's a different mindset from PvE for sure.
Yeah.
Yes,
I think
yes, it
that's
is.
where I'm stuck. Is I have my loadouts for PvE that don't work in PvP. Like I don't
No,
mind.
God
PvE.
no.
Like,
No.
I like doing control.
None of them work in PvP. None of them.
So I like PvP to a point, but I really like the Gambit side of PvP. I love Gambit. I'm one of those few people who I love Gambit. Like I just love playing. I don't play it all the time, but it also drives me crazy when you get an invader every 5 seconds. And
So
you're
that's
like,
your
how is this
PvP?
happening? But it's just I don't have the mindset. It's still because I only play social games. I very rarely play single player games. So everything I play is always cooperative with people, except for Plants vs Zombies. But even then, you're in a giant team. It's just for me. I have to understand the mindset and the builds for PvP because I've never really thought about it. Because I've
Yeah.
always thought about PvP. So I've got
Fast.
these amazing PvE builds that I go in there like "Whoop, I'm dead when I spawn in. Like okay, that's fun.
Quick draw snapshot means absolutely nothing in PvE.
See,
For
I
sure.
thought it did.
No.
So I made a build like that. I was like, what? Like it is so bad, y'all. I still have old Crucible quests for like Cade's gun, stuff like that, that I have not been able to finish. I got like 5 headshots. How many years? I'm lucky I got those.
so-
Yeah, I'm working on those headshots. Is that
So
for
you
Luna's
didn't
out?
go through the Luna's quest then?
Yep.
Ooh.
Nope. So
Never
those
again.
things, I'm just gonna be
No.
I've done the Luna's quest, and I think I last left count on 14.
yeah.
I got 19
Yeah.
as of yesterday.
Anytime.
No,
anytime
I've done it
I'm
14
specific for
times.
PvP.
I got through
I'm
the Luna
behind
and
on
Not
it.
Forgotten quest in a weekend, and never again will I ever do something like that again.
It's fun.
Yeah, fun.
So before we run into the show, we want to talk really quick about what we've been doing in this oddly weird months-long downtime
It's
because they pushed the expansion back, and I'm kind of happy they did because the one season I sat out on because I just like playing was the Black Armory season.
okay.
I have loved every part of that. I've been getting caught up. I loved all the weapons. I loved all the armor. I just got Izanagi's burden, and I don't know why 'cause I don't like it, but like it was
That's-
fun to get. Now I think I'm ready.
That's a PvE monster, man.
Yeah, it's
Izzy?
good sniper. for
Izzy's
boss.
insane.
Then I must be
Post-
wrong because
even
I
post
saw
nerf.
all the bullets and I shot someone and he didn't die,
Wow.
and I was like, "What?" Then I saw all the bullets and shot the roving world boss in the Trostland. Precision hit, one hit exploded him. I was like,
If you use it in like the GOS raid, I think it hits with the bubble and a tether like 249,000 or something like that. It's insane on that
I know what
GOS
I'm
boss.
taking.
Yeah, it's a good
What about
gun.
you guys?
Arctic?
I have been working on several things. So because I am a one character player, my max
I'm all about
level
that.
triumphs gets a little limited. So I've actually been working on like all the catalysts, getting all the catalysts done, working on those random triumphs. Yesterday I got my 500 kills of Izanami's Burden and Izanami Forge.
Yeah.
How do you say that? And now I just have to do the one, I think it's Volander Forge with the
Jotun, right?
Jotun. Yep. And then I'm halfway for that one. So I've kind of been working on some of that stuff. I made myself a little post-it note about all the places that are going to get vaulted so
She's
that I know
serious.
to go out to the destinations and finish up all of those triumphs and finish those up. I got a couple more. Freaking Mars, man. And those
Resonation nodes or
yes, resonation nodes where you put them together and then you got to go find them. I've got 4 left. 4. And I've been working on this for weeks trying to get this done and they will not give me new ones. So frustrating. But the other thing is when I see people out on Discord that are looking for Whisper, maybe not 0 hour because my hunter's not a jumper. We're not going to do that.
Wait, what? What? Your hunter's not a jumper.
Not in
I
that,
love 0 hour watching
not
the hunters
around the
just
building
fall.
on the side of the wall. And I hear I'm going
Yeah.
to go down to.
Yeah.
But that's the other thing is if I see people who need Whisper, who need to go through Shattered Throne to get Wish Ender, to get Izanami's, to get Jotun, I want to get those people that weapon just because I've already been there. So that's what I've been doing. Just keeping myself busy.
Yeah, I've been doing the same. I've been doing a lot of seal and triumph hunting. Got my shadow knocked out. Got my Rippon's Bane knocked out. Finally got my flawless Scourge of the Past knocked out. But I don't have enough time to get all the frames forged in time. So I get to miss out on blacksmith. So it is what it is. But outside of that, it's been jumping between my warlock for PvE stuff and my hunter for my PvP stuff and just hoarding all the bounties. And then just playing other games, taking a break from Destiny so that I can feel fresh when Beyond Light comes out. So, but outside of that, I haven't really been doing too much.
I'm kind of in the same boat as Arctic. I've just been doing a little more, PvP, just kind of, fine tuning my builds for PvP for Beyond Light. Playing other games like Among Us that we also have in Bullet Heads. Fall Guys. Yeah, Fall Guys is always fun. I guess I've been doing a little more Modern Warfare, Warzone, just for the sole purpose of, like Arctic said, I don't want to be burned out when Beyond Light comes out. Because this Halloween event's the exact same from last year. Yeah. And so I'm like, I know we're all a little disappointed. So I said, so instead of being in Destiny and being frustrated, I'm just going to chill from it. And when Beyond Light comes back, I'll be ready.
So again, welcome to Fireteam Misadventure. We're here with the Bullet Heads clan. If you're not part of the clan, you're looking for a good clan, the link's always going to be in the description and on the bottom of the screen. So you guys can go find it. Our show's going to be divided into segments. We're going to talk about, the stuff at This Week at Bungie. We're also going to have a topic each show. We're going to show clips and get great PvP tips from our 2 PvP masters that are on the show. And we're just going to have a lot of fun. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with our This Week at Bungie segment. I forgot how I was going to intro this.
Right, there it is, right there. Perfect.
I was gonna
Perfect.
intro it like that.
Just like you did it.
All right, so welcome back. We were talking about the things that happened at Bungie this week at Bungie Posts. As this is our pilot, we're going back a couple of weeks and just kind of talk about a slew of things because I just really want to talk about the fact that I'm so excited they're finally changing ghosts. That has been the beat of my existence because I hate when I get a show really shitty. Like, who cares about weapon telemetries? They have zero effect on anything.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to like armor. They're all skins. You can just run around with whatever you want, and you'll be able to modify it. I think it's about time. I was really excited about that one. And then they also showed off the new weapons, new armor first. And this was pretty interesting because I just want to say, I believe, what is the one? No, it's No Time to Explain. Is going to be the new breaking weapon. I have a feeling people are going to exploit that really quick.
As a pulse rifle, I mean, unless they change the 600s back in any situation, in PvE or PvP, I mean, do we just got to say it? Gnawing hunger. Yeah.
I love gnawing hunger. I never complain. But this one, you know, when you do the precision damage, gives you the arc soul that shoots bullets out. Like, I'm like,
are you going to use it over, Whisper? Are you going to use it over Izanagi's? And
I will.
Yeah, well, well, there are the awesome, meta people, So, I mean, that's the only thing you got, and you got the new exotics, like the new sniper rifle, the Cloud Strike, which I'm personally excited about. Hopefully, it's quick ADS.
I like that one. The other one I thought it was funny that they gave the hunter a blink that actually works because the Warlock blink is the dumbest thing. I try to jump up and I fall. Like, there's no way I'm taking that anywhere.
I have seen it in PvP with the Astrocyte burst. If you can use it, it is completely broken. But I can't. I'm not a Warlock, so.
That's what I used to main in D1 was Voidwalker with Blink and just do that all over the place in PvP.
It's insane.
Yeah,
But-
I can see the use in PvP,
Toxic.
not PvE.
Not in PvE, no. That I didn't understand that in PvE either.
And then, of course, being the Warlock, the virus-plagued gloves. I want to know how that's going to work. Like, just how far will it spread? How much fun will it be?
Well, it looked like it ticked 3 times, like from your hand to the middle, and then it did it from the bottom again, and then the segment cut away real quick. And I was like, So yeah,
I love punching things because I have my Fellwinter's Helm, so it blinds people around me if it's a fully charged punch or a finishing move. I love that helmet. Love blinding things because I'm dumb and I run in the middle of stupid stuff all the time, and that is my escape clause.
And you're
Punch,
a Warlock?
jump back.
That sounds more like you should be a Titan. Just go in the middle of everything, take all the damage, and just punch him, man.
I have a Titan. He's literally been sitting there since Destiny 1, like upgraded when Destiny 2 came out. Not touched. I have literally been Warlock hunting dedicated forever. And I will jump where I'm not supposed to go, get myself in a crap ton of problems, and then just finish somebody or punch and jump backwards.
You need to, dust off the old Titan armor.
Yeah, you need to get that Titan out.
and jump on your bottom tree, a striker would knock out. It'll destroy everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing I do appreciate is that it seems like Bungie is embracing the damage over time mechanic more often. And that excites me for future exotics. Like, these exotics seem fun. They also seem kind of gimmicky. That goes for the weapons and for the armor. The Mask of Bacchus has me excited, but the Overshield Titan exotic terrifies me. That's terrifying.
That's
for a
OEM on your
player.
arms.
Yep, absolutely. So we'll see how it all works, if it's going to be really good, really broken, or if it's just going to be another gimmick item that sits in your vault.
Yeah.
I think the other thing I'm worried about is everybody jumping to the stasis power. Like,
Yeah.
It just seems to be so much more functional. Like I love my Sith Lightning on my Warlock, but that thing's it just does not do nearly any damage anymore. It's good at clearing small crowds because when I do my Void, man, that Void orb could kill a boss.
Yeah, it can.
It just seems so unbalanced, and I'm wondering how they're going to balance out stasis in the overall string of things, and how different it's going to be when you could create walls to help you jump. Well,
Guaranteed that's going to be a part of the raid too. Like that's going to be the jumping section right there.
of course,
Create your own, your
Yep.
own walls, your
'Cause
own
you-
platforms.
I guarantee that that's going to be the jumping section, and where we seen the little trailer where all the shanks were coming down and the big shank and they made the walls, that could be a big part of the raid and we didn't even know it. Like you know what I mean? Here's your hint. You just don't know it yet.
Yeah. So do you think that they're trying to force us into having certain characters in the raid?
Honestly, yes, I do. Certain subclasses, certain I don't see the stasis, hunter being a big PvE thing. It looked way more of a PvP thing. So I'd still think that, the Nighthawk Goldie in this raid and probably, top tree tether. Like always, that's what we're good for.
Yeah.
Right.
So-
Well, bubble. I mean, your meta subclasses are still going to be meta. It just depends on how effective stasis is going to be.
Right. But is it going to be where you're going to have to go into this raid with a Titan, a Warlock, and a Hunter? Like you can't go in with all Hunters or all Warlocks or all Titans.
If you go in with all hunters, you're almost screwing yourself. I'm just saying that's any raid right now. I love hunters. I'm a hunter main, but we just don't have the survivability. We are squishy.
Yeah, we
So-
are squishy. We are squishy.
I wonder if that's what they're trying to do, because when I think of that, I think back to the Crota raid when you could not get in a group unless you had Galahorn.
Yep.
I happen to have Galahorn. That was my favorite raid. I was in that raid all the time. But it caused problems with the community because people couldn't get into the raids with people because they're like, we don't have this, you don't have that. No. Oh, you don't primary this, you don't use stasis. Well, no, you can't come.
It's still almost like that now, though. Being honest.
Well, all the raids I've done with you guys so far, we've had just the most, like, I have not taken in the right weapons and I've still done fine. And we've still been okay. But
That's
it
something to
seems
keep
like
in
if you're going
mind.
to gear something specifically for a specific team loadout, it kind of takes the fun out of it.
It does.
For sure.
Well, and I think nowadays there are certain weapons you want to bring into the raid, but only one person needs to have it. For example, Divinity or Anarchy. You only need one person in the raid to have it. The rest of them, whatever. I mean, COS, when we're getting little baby, whatever his name is, one person needs Anarchy, the rest of you, sword. And then I think it's GOS, we get Divinity in there. Everybody else, sniper. So that's kind of maybe the mix now, is there are some weapons you absolutely do need in a raid,
True.
but not everybody needs them. You only need one person.
I'm not
Right.
going up to the GOS boss with a damn sword. I'm just saying.
Because I'm dumb that way. I'd be like, hey!
I tried it. I
would
and
love
it
to
was
try it though.
hilarious. I was
praise
like, well, that was one and done.
My
All of
head,
us,
but-
it was hilarious. Arctic, what?
Well, I took the 2 days off. So we'll be playing for sure those 2 days when Beyond Light comes out. And so the other thing is we're in Festival of the Lost, and man, did they chat this year up. I am so bored. I love Halloween stuff. Like I bought the vampire outfit for the Warlock because how could I not?
I got the werewolf.
But it seems like every time I open those cash chests, it's hard enough for me to just find the cash cipher. But everything drops at a 750 light level. I'm like,
Yeah, I didn't understand that. Why would you drop it at 750?
Should be like 1050.
And still, if you watch any of the videos, any other, content creator or whatever, most of them are still saying that the original, curated Braytech Werewolf is still better than anything that you could get now.
It's true. I've grabbed some out there. I'm like, this isn't any good than what I have. Like, I loved not the werewolf, the one before. What was the year before?
The Braytech Winter Wolf?
Horror Story.
Horror Story.
Oh, the Horror Story. Yeah.
Horror Story was a good gun.
It's
But
got a
it's like-
wonky recoil direction. I just don't like
At the time it came out, it actually was very popular, though.
I used it for a while, but I've not found a new one. And so they've buffed the Cypher Reach twice now. And now they're out there soliciting feedback for festival. I was just like, what do we do right? What do we do wrong? Here's
Well,
a list.
Well, the
You changed
original
up more
one.
than you did the last 2 years.
Yeah. I do enjoy the decorations. I love when the tower looks like that, but I'm ready for a new tower too. Give me a new tower with Beyond Light. I don't care if it's all blown to hell. Let me get it.
We should
You mean you don't want to go back to the farm?
No, I enjoyed the farm. I played a little soccer. I played a little soccer over there in the hangar. Give me a new tower. Smash it to bits, but give me a new tower.
Well, I'm just because Halloween is my holiday. I've always bought everything Halloween from Destiny. I've got all that stuff. But this year, I've just because I want to finish the ciphers, I want to get that little item just to have it because I'm an idiot that way.
Yeah.
But I still have some way to go. That's probably what I'll be doing this afternoon is collecting ciphers and going through Haunted Forest.
Which,
this
okay.
week, they I talked about all the next gen stuff. So let's talk to Arctic about why he's excited for the FOV slider.
Yeah.
So somebody that is PvP oriented, being able to change your FOV from the 70 or 75 that it sits at default for console, and being able to bring that back, it just means you see more.
Okay.
Obviously, you don't want to crank it all the way up so that you get this like weird fisheye kind of thing going on. But the more information that you can have, the better off you're going to be. And combining that with the 4K 60 FPS upgrade as well, it's going to only be better for console. The gap between console and PC is definitely coming together, at least a little bit.
I actually have switched off of my Xbox to PC, and I can say, even at 105 FOV, you don't get the goggle eye effect. They've done a really nice job of that, and my map awareness and my enemy awareness has gone up tremendously since going to PC and being able to see so much more. And I kind of enjoy PvP more because I'm not just here and I'm like a horse with blinders on. Well, this is the only thing I'm going to be able to see. So
yeah, your cone of vision goes from here and opens up a little bit. It feels like you have a peripheral vision, and that is what contributes to why PC feels so much faster than console.
Yeah.
You look at it even for something like Halo on PC versus console. You look at Halo 3 on console, it's very, very slow feeling. You back up that FOV a little bit, it feels significantly faster.
The only thing I would warn about is now over on console, sword peeking, 3 peeking, emote peeking, every kind of peeking that you can do is going to rise tremendously. So be aware of that for sure.
Absolutely.
I do wonder why they made it like a month later. Like they've had all this time. Why wasn't it be ready on console launch? Because I think it'll be just kind of funny to be waiting and you're still like I've got my Series X pre-ordered. I'll be playing, and then a month later I can make it look better. And it just kind of seems like, could you not have really had it ready on time?
Well, I mean, honestly, that could attribute to the Microsoft not releasing a lot of hardware information and their software information as much as Bungie needed to program right. So they gave themselves a month to get the software programs, know what it is, and then get theirs to work, with them. That's the only thing that I could have thought of.
Yeah,
can,
maybe they didn't have access
Right.
in enough
I
time.
can see that, but also people have had the Xbox Series X for almost a month and a half now.
Maybe
Like-
Bungie didn't.
Yeah, well, and there's always that overlooming elephant in the room of COVID. I
Yeah.
mean,
True. Yeah. That's going to be the biggest thing. Sorry.
right. I
COVID.
mean, at this point, it's just everyone wants to blame it on COVID, and there's validity to it, but you also have to wonder why things just aren't working.
Yeah, you're right though. They're gonna all blame it on COVID, whether it actually had anything to do with it or not.
Of course.
Yeah.
And then the
Scapegoat.
last, they announced the new raid.
Yes.
Now, I have never done a raid on day one.
You are now, aren't you?
I really want to do it, but I don't know what are the stats just to do it on day one.
So you're gonna have to be a 1230. Wait,
Well, 1230 is the max you can be with
Oh,
contest
yeah,
modifier
1230
for
is
the final encounter. So
Yeah.
depending on how many encounters, you're going to always be 20 light below that encounter set. So ideally you want to be 1230, but
Mhm.
it won't matter until the final encounter. Yeah, no, you have
No,
to go
that's
up
what they
like
said,
170
so-
Yeah.
light.
basically the final encounter is probably gonna be a 1250 because they said you're gonna be 30 or 20
30,
under.
40, 50.
But
yeah.
you want to strive for everybody in your fire team to be at 1230 by the
Bare
time.
minimum.
Without artifact power, because that is also disabled.
Yep. Yep. And I don't know, and maybe you guys in here do, but I don't know what the soft cap is going to be. Like,
1260, or we don't know what the soft cap is, but the hard pinnacle cap is 1260.
okay.
See, okay,
Like,
because
when we join in on day one, and now we're going to have, 10 days to grind until that raid starts. I mean, like for myself right now, I'm at a 1070. And I know people that are at almost a 1090, but I think a lot of that is the artifact that's pushing
Yeah.
it up.
it stops at 1060.
So, like, where are we going to start next season? And where do we have to get to, where do we start to get to that 1230? Because we're at 10 whatever now.
That's a heck of a lot of grinding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good thing I took some days off from work, right?
Yeah,
You're
it's
sick.
like I am glad I took days off.
I took a week off to start off Destiny.
My girl.
Yeah.
I just took the 2 days off because I usually get a lot done in 2 days. And I'm really going to try to get as close to 1230 as possible because, I mean, all of us have been in Destiny since beta days, and I've never done a day one raid. It always is later on down the road. And I think I was just thinking, it would be really fun to figure that out. Like, who figured out all that stupid crystal stuff from that stupid Crown of Sorrow raid?
Dado. That's all. Dado.
Just,
The master.
someone
Well,
had to figure that out.
I've
I don't
done,
know, I
I've
wouldn't
done
even know
King's
that.
Fall, Wrath of the
Figure.
Machine, and Garden of Salvation, as well as Leviathan, all day one. And
Yeah.
that it's fun. It's really fun. Don't get me wrong, but it is incredibly frustrating.
Yeah.
Like trying to figure out War Priest on day one. No, thank you.
Well, I did VOG day one, and they're bringing that back. To do Gorgon's Mace in VOG without knowing anything, I about threw my controller through my screen 1,900 billion times, screaming at these stupid harpies, man, and it's coming back. So, do y'all think it's gonna change?
Well, supposedly the raid or the re-release of Vault of Glass is supposed to be tied to the story of that season. So I could foresee, if they're smart, to completely change everything about that raid and just
that'd
have it
be
in the same location. But I would be amiss to say that if they don't have the original VOG coming back as well, at least a version of it that people can play, would be a missed opportunity too.
Weapons? Question mark.
Fatebringer, Praetus, Revenge. I don't care about the rest of them.
What about the
Yeah.
Mythoclast? The raid exotic, is they're gonna bring back the Mythoclast. Come on.
I mean, that gun wasn't good after the first time it released anyway. I mean, after they nerfed it, it was meh. It's another gun.
After they nerfed it, it was bad.
I love how
was.
you guys are like, what weapons do we get from the raid? I'm like, bring me back Crota so I can get my Glowhoo shader. That's all I care about.
Man, I
Give me the
love
shader
the
back.
Glowhoo.
That was the one. I love that shader. I love that armor set. Weapons fine. I want that shader. That's
That
all I care
armor
about.
set
You're like,
was
yeah,
nice.
we
Just
need this
give me the
gun.
ornaments from year 3 Moments of Triumph for that raid. They were incredible.
What was the black and chatter white? I want my chatter white back. That and the Glowhoo were my 2 favorites right there for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, you'll see us get caught up on that week at Bungie every time you see a show, and we have lots of fun talking about it. You will no doubt be able to watch it do the day 1 raid. I will probably be streaming along with everybody else that's in there.
Yep.
And I think Maddie was talking about she doesn't have a way to do it on the Bullet Heads clan. If you go to the Discord, there's probably gonna be some special setups for it, so it'll be super exciting.
Yeah.
But stay tuned, because right after this we're getting to our main
we're
topic,
gonna make
which
activity out of
is,
it. Yeah.
it's Maddie's topic. We're gonna talk about all of these characters. Where are they going with the sunsetting? Stay tuned.
All right, so we're here in the PvP section of our little interviews here, and our little podcast. This is Arctic. Arctic.
How's it going, y'all?
My name's Real DP, and let's get this thing going. For the first episode, I think we're just gonna really go over basics and see what type of player you are, and maybe some small hints and tips just start out. So we're gonna go over what type of player you are. Are you a hunter? Are you a warlock? And are you a titan? Each have their own styles, so you need to get that character matching your style. Arctic, what's your main, sir?
My main for PvP is Hunter, and typically it's Top Tree, Night Stalker. I've been playing around a little bit with Bottom Tree, Gunslinger recently. Go for it.
No. Yeah, I was just gonna say, me and you, known each other a while, so we kind of do the same things. Other than you're a much better shot than I am. So, I guess let's say hunters are a lot of mobility, a lot of height, a lot of quick, fast-paced things. Whereas, you do a lot of warlock too, right?
Yeah, for sure. Not recently, but absolutely.
I'll let you talk on the warlock. I hardly ever touch him.
Yeah, so on Warlock, for me personally, as a PvP player, for everything, it's all about mobility. I know that my ability to move around the map will save me more often than not. And being fastest to the hot spots of the map is always super important. So Top Tree, Dawnblade with transversives with Warlock, very fast. The Icarus dash is incredibly quick. Same thing with Hunter. Always the neutral game for a Hunter, and in the mobility there is always top priority for me too. But yeah, Warlock, very fast. Top Tree, Dawnblade, 100%.
Oh yeah. The little bit that I've done with Warlock, I've experimented on all of it, and while I enjoy the Warlock, it's just not my style of play. The jump, kills me. I think that's why they did the Icarus dash. But I always enjoyed Top Tree Nova Bomb, just a big, slow, methodic bog that tracks around corners. I don't know, and then the explosion. That's me. Ever since D1, actually.
Yep, Slova Bomb was definitely nice. And D1, I was more of the smaller Nova Bomb guy.
The Shatter?
Yep, absolutely. So, yeah, I mean, I haven't played a whole lot of Voidwalker in D2, frankly. That's what I made.
That blink, man. That blink is insane if you know how to use it. All right, so going to Titan, I think we can both agree you just get up in their face and punch them.
Yep, absolutely.
I would say if you're a more aggressive player and you want to do a lot of shotgunning and things like that, Titan's probably definitely your style of play. They are the slowest class, if I'm not mistaken. So you gotta really gotta use your brain on Titan because they don't have much to do other than just sit there, eat a crayon, and wait to punch someone, right?
Yep, absolutely. Use your shields as much as you can.
Yes.
Absolutely. That's the best thing Titans offer.
All right. Well, we're both hunters. I played more on Titan than I have on Warlock. I guess we'll just go into each one. Why do you choose? Because it might be a little different than mine, but why do you choose Top Tree on a hunter for Void?
The biggest reason, and as dumb as a lot of top tier players might think it is, it's about the invisibility. That invis dodge has saved me more often than not. And while it doesn't do much for the visual, the tracking for players, it throws them off. So especially in my one-on-one gunfights and even my multiple people on me gunfights, if I'm able to dodge out of there with my invisibility, it's about survivability. It's about taking the shots where I can and then moving on. So that's my biggest reason for it.
Okay, so we're in agreement. My other reason is for a shutdown super. It can shut down almost any super. So there's the two biggest cons, or pros right there. So, but the only con that I really see is in the super itself. If you're gonna go in and you want to kill people with your super, that is not the super. Like you said, that's more the neutral game.
Yep.
So if that's your style of play, that you don't really care about your super too much, then cool. The only thing is you're going to get aggravated on that super because the tether is, in my opinion, it needs a buff on how fast it grabs people for sure.
Yep, absolutely. And the time it takes to summon and cast the super, it takes a long time. You don't have a lot of protection when you're doing it. It's very easy to kill hunters when they're casting their supers.
Yep.
And it does take a really long time for it to even activate and proc. However, in a more defensive style of play, you can just lay it down and it'll sit there until it's activated for an entire round of a match.
It lasts a long time. Yeah, it does. I know you said you're messing around with Bottom Tree Gunslinger. I did. I enjoy it, but I've actually been doing a lot of Top Tree Arc Staff. Yeah. As far as Gunslinger, in my opinion, I enjoy it. With the practice makes perfect. If you can land any kind of headshots or precision hits, it's a really good super for you because you're going to get it back fast. You only get 3 shots, but the only thing that I found that I didn't like was in a few supers you can't one shot body shot them with a golden gun.
Yeah, and that goes for both top and bottom tree. Like there's even points in top tree where if you're too far away, you're not going to one hit anyone, even out of super.
It's really strange that it's mainly Titans that I can't kill, especially like a Sentinel shield. I shot them point blank with golden gun, and they laughed at me and then punched me.
Yeah, absolutely. That's something that happens.
So you got to be careful there. Arc Staff, I'm still I do it from time to time, and while it is good and I enjoy it, it's still all about the neutral game. Yep. With from the extra protection in your dodge on bottom tree or the little confusion punch and stuff like that. So
yeah, absolutely. And I played a little bit with middle tree Arc Strider. And while it's fun, just something about a few of these roaming supers, I just don't understand it yet, and I just need more practice with. So something like Golden Gun is a little bit easier to kind of get my mind wrapped around, or a single shot super like the Tether or Blade Barrage is easier to just throw out there.
Yeah. I guess in the coming segments, we'll talk about each class. Like, you know, we kind of hit on them, but, you know, this time it was really about the hunter. The thing with hunters is you really have to choose when you're going to engage and when you need to disengage. And a lot of people don't understand that you don't always peek back. I mean, and as a hunter, you can jump back into cover and disengage if you feel like you're not going to do it, and you can run away. It's not hard.
Yeah.
If I had to give one big tip about hunters, is they are squishy.
Yeah, they don't take a lot to bring down, but man, are they squirrely. And if you're able to use your movement, jump around a lot, stay high, stay low, just do everything in your power to stay alive, you're good. So
well, we'll talk more about this, you know, in later episodes and all, and we'll get back with the other classes. For now, we're gonna send it back over to Slayton.
Yep, thanks guys.
Now, let's go ahead and talk about all the characters that we know and love in Destiny. Where are they going? What are they doing? Are we going to see them Beyond Light? I don't know.
I love this because there's so many characters, and you don't think about it. You really don't.
No, you really don't.
I mean, all the random ones, like yes. If we just look at the tower, let's look at not only Amanda Holiday, but then Sora Hawthorne. What does she do other than give us our weekly clan bounties and our weekly clan engrams? Yes, she was saving lost souls and bringing them to the farm. What is she
abandoned them?
No,
she's totally in the tower now.
She's representing the human minority that is not a guardian. That's what she's there for.
Well, and wasn't Soraya made a representative for humans, or is she part of the Vanguard officially?
Yeah,
I don't know if she's official or not, but she was raised by Devron. Devron brought her in when her parents died and raised her, but she kept raising so much hell that she had to leave the farm. And then they went to EDZ, and that's where Devron stands watch in his little tower so he can be a sniper. And she goes off and tries to bring people to the city to help them. It's kind of interesting because as part of this, you know, I started looking into a lot of these characters, and I did not realize how much they integrated over each other in that kind of way, which is cool for storyline. But what are they going to do Beyond Light? What's going to happen? I mean, the way they're building it up, shit's going to blow up. Shit's going to die, right?
Yep.
So people are going to die. You can't keep all these characters after getting rid of the Leviathan, Mercury, Mars, Io, and Titan. There is no way all these people are going to survive.
True.
Well, when you start in the tower and you're looking at what's going away, I can see Hawthorne staying. But you get things like Ada 1 and Benedict, who have no purpose anymore. So,
but does Ada 1 not have a purpose? She might have
getting rid of all the
weapon
forges
that we might need against the darkness.
She is an exo. She was made on Europa, right? So, I mean,
so do you think
they may
staying?
change? They may change her purpose.
Was a creator of the Exos.
Yeah.
She might have a part to play in the story.
So
I don't know if she will or not, but she might. Yeah.
And then what about Benedict? Because That whole
Sweeper bot?
storyline with Callus just kind of like, okay, what's next?
He's gonna sweep. I'm telling you, we are getting a few new sweeper bots in the tower. It's gonna be ultra clean.
I mean, we're diving headfirst into the darkness. We know Callus has communed with the darkness. I don't imagine they're going to get rid of that storyline in its entirety. I'm sure Callus and Warren and any other sweeper bots that he wants to hack are still going to be around. We just don't know when he's going to show his face.
But here's the thing. There was that persistent idea that Emperor Callus was going to join you guys with his legion, and the Cabal weren't going to be as much of a bad guy anymore. That's what it was supposed to be leading up to. And so, yeah, he may have communed with the darkness, but he's not really a bad guy anymore.
I don't think he was a bad guy ever to begin with. If you really keep an open mind and not see what Destiny, like, just because we wield the light doesn't mean that the light is right. The dark could be where we're supposed to go, because the Traveler didn't choose us first. Before us was the Fallen. And if you listen to all what the Drifter says and other people say, they're all saying that the Traveler is not a good thing. He seems like a good thing because he empowers you. You can never die, but it's like a parasite and a host. Once he's used up the host, the parasite falls off, possibly finds another host. So that's been mine from the beginning. Are we actually good with light and dark, or are we supposed to be on the dark side?
I think there's more gray to it, and I think that's where Callus sits. However, he's more interested in becoming one with the darkness and being consumed by the darkness in luxury.
Yeah.
People and trophies that he likes, he wants to bring aboard the Leviathan and be accepted by the darkness at that point, whatever outcome that is.
Well, we've seen
he tried to bring the Traveler as a trophy.
Mm-hmm.
He tried to encompass it and just, this is mine.
So Maddie, you know more about lore than I do. So what I noticed in a couple of the interference missions, and I don't know if anyone else noticed, it says wherever the Traveler touchdown last, it leaves that little tree, right? A little seed. So it was on Io. Why was it on Io?
Well, that's where the Traveler went first. When it came into our solar system, it came. Didn't it come to Io first, or am I mixing up?
I thought it went to Mars first.
Yeah,
it went to Mars first and Io last.
So why did the Traveler jump around though to the smaller planets and then decide, hey, I'm here on Earth? What's the deal with that? Like,
I have a feeling that's going to be something that's going to be explored, because I thought there was something wrong with the Traveler in Destiny 1 with the speaker. I never trusted the speaker. I was glad he died.
Sir.
But you're right about Callus. But looking at the other characters let's go outside the tower. Let's just start with some of the ones around the system that just don't seem to really have much point in how they could have more point beyond light. Like Devrim Kay. Is there anyone more pointless than Ikora Rey to have in the game? Because Ikora has nothing to do. Devrim has nothing to do.
True.
What's the purpose?
I could say Asher Mir, but he actually, studies stuff, whereas Devrim sits there in his little perch shooting stuff. I enjoy that, don't get me wrong, but I think he is kind of the most pointless. You're right.
Well, what about Sloane?
Sloane's. I thought she was still some sort of commander or something.
Yeah, she's on Titan. And she stands there and she's going to stay there. She's like, if they're coming down here, I'm going to fight them. Or I don't remember the exact wording in the lore, but she basically says, I'm going to stay here and make sure that the Hive or whoever aren't going to.
She's doing a horrible job.
Yeah,
I'm going to put that out there. She's doing have you seen Titan? The waves, the destruction?
My question about Sloane is, when you finish the interference question, you get her final lore.
Mhm.
Where did this battle suit come from, and why is it almost killing her? Does anybody actually know?
No.
Spoiler alert for those who may not have finished the interference test.
I did, yeah. I mean, that's more of going back to not knowing everything. Like, the biggest character that you don't know anything about was the original Guardian, the oldest Guardian. That's the Drifter. So if the upfront people like Sloan and stuff like that, you can read their lore, but I think there's a lot more to it than what Destiny is going to reveal to us anytime soon.
Or do you think they actually have a plan? Like, for a while, I thought they didn't have a plan. Like, when they brought in...
I still don't think they do.
Stranger, and then she disappeared for like 5 years, and now she's seriously back.
Well, considering the fact that they're bringing the Exo Stranger back when they said that she was done with from the onset is
Sure.
amazing. The fact that they're bringing the Darkness back when they said that that storyline was over. You know, I don't think that there is a plan. I think they really are just flying by the seat of their pants right now.
Well, and I think part of
I
it
agree.
was they had a lot of these stories before, and then they had a oversight company who came in and said, I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like that. And forced them to change. And so now they're using some of the things that they know gamers will like. You know, before it was corporate driven. And
True.
now that they are themselves, they get to do gamer driven.
We're finally going to get the end of the Dreaming City, you know, the curse. That'd be great because it was already supposed to be broken.
Wish 13? Where is Wish 13? Why haven't we
15.
found it?
Wish 15.
Yeah,
Or
yeah,
15. 15.
I mean, technically, we were supposed to break the curse when, what was his name? Was there was a race between two guardians to get that 999 power, and when they did, because the lore said if you get to 999 power and you go and you do the Shattered Throne flawless, and you beat the Daruk, then
Goal, a card. Yeah.
Goal on, I can't ever say it right. But if it says if a guardian gets 999 power and then you go do the Shattered Throne flawless, the curse will break.
However,
They did that.
Yeah,
And
but
it did.
Bungie released a lore piece right after that happened with Savathun speaking to us, saying that all we're doing is feeding the pattern. Like we're just feeding back on ourselves at this
Yep.
point.
Well, looking at Beyond Light, the other thing I find questionable is Eris Morn. Is she going to stay on the moon, or is she going to go to Europa? Because she's a huge part of dealing with the darkness.
True.
So then what happens to the moon? Like, for people who maybe didn't do Forsaken, or who like, are they going to move like Benedict to the moon and he could go be like the sweeper bot and you just get stuff from him? Like, I want to know how they're going to kind of switch these things up, because some people have to go to Europa.
Yeah, I didn't
Yeah,
think
but
about
Eris
that.
Morn has her portals and their teleportation
Yeah,
stuff. She
true.
can go wherever she wants.
That's how they're going to explain it.
Because
Of course. It's
what was
Destiny.
it in the preview for the new season? We see Eris, the Drifter, and the Stranger, right?
Right.
Those are the three that we see going to Europa.
Hmm.
They're all kind of what I probably would call gray characters.
They're all my favorites. I
Yeah.
would follow them
So-
anywhere.
So what
Especially
is
the
that going to
Drifter.
mean going into the new season? Like, all our main people are gray. They're not dark.
They're not
not
main.
light.
They're the offshoot.
Yeah.
Like, the main people
They
would
can
be the
do
people in the
whatever.
tower. And
Yeah.
then I think the offshoot is those other ones. They're the secondary ones because they're not Vanguard, quote unquote. But it's interesting because you can definitely see the line of the characters being drawn. Who's more intrigued by this possibility and who is completely brainwashed? Like, the only one I don't know about is like Hora, because she literally has nothing to do, and
Sure.
she hasn't been in any stories since Osiris. And with Osiris kind of being that morally gray character, I would think she'd probably follow suit at some point in time.
Okay.
This is getting
Yeah,
very
that's a
Star
question.
Wars.
Like,
Star
what will
Wars.
Hora do? You know, Zavala is just going to be, I don't know. Is he going to break? Is
He's too
gonna-
much of a Boy Scout.
There's
Yeah,
no-
way too much of
Yeah,
a boy.
no.
Yeah.
Okay.
But also, you know, with the Dreaming City coming back into play, he is an Awoken. Is he going to play a big part with Marasov and Uldren and all? Like, he is the Awoken race, but for Vanguard. So is this his time to shine and be like, I'm going to stick with my own people? You know what I mean?
You can
Or
say the
is
same thing
he
about,
going to blindly follow the Traveler, no matter what?
oh, and you can say the same thing about any EXO that we've ever met too.
Yeah,
With
that's-
us going to Deep Stone Crypt and Europa, I mean, there's a lot of possibility there that, the EXOs and the Vex have their connection.
With Europa, do you see a Cade 7? Do you see his memories being downloaded in any way, shape, or form somehow? Because he's an EXO, this has been my thought, because as a hunter, we don't have a Vanguard. And I don't want Uldren as my fucking Vanguard. I don't. So
Why not? He was brainwashed. It's not his
But
fault.
that's the hunter's dare, right? So whoever killed
Yeah,
him,
Killed him,
Vanguard.
right.
Uldren is the Vanguard right now, the Hunter
But-
Vanguard.
but-
he just doesn't know it.
maybe
He's hiding
Bungie
out in
switched.
a crate
May-
somewhere outside the Cosmodrome.
There's no comic relief. There's none. And we are missing a smart, other than Failsafe and Drifter, and they're not Cade. I mean, let's go. So,
I mean, yes, but we've already brought one character back from the dead. Granted, we'd never seen him before.
thank 14.
I think if if Bungie starts bringing back characters willy-nilly, all it's going to do is irritate people because that sacrifice meant something in Forsaken.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree with him 100%.
Okay, that's true.
Yeah,
It's
I
one of the
really
problems
don't.
with
I don't
superheroes.
think Cade's coming back. That would, yeah, that would anger a community so bad to bring him back and make it 7. Because first of all, when they bring him as an EXO into another one, they're not really supposed to remember what they were like as a previous. So it's not like he would even be the same Cade. And even Cade 6 had started discovering things that he had left himself when he was a human before he became an EXO.
Okay, so with Banshee then, he's been rebooted, 44 times if you listen to the little robot in the tower. And yet he still remembers stuff. Not much,
Well,
but he still
barely
remembers stuff.
who he is at this point. He's been rebooted so many times that his memory has almost completely failed.
Okay. Cade's only been, 7 times now then? Damn it, I just want Cade back. Dadgummit.
I know.
just want
I know.
Cade.
We all want Cade back.
It would be completely disrespectful of what they built. I hate when comic books do that, to kill somebody and just to bring them back. It's like you have to have things to move the story forward, and people have to come and go. Like,
Sure.
we shouldn't be looking at the same people forever. I was surprised by the Uldren thing, and I like the fact that the new rumor is that he is the new Light Guardian. I don't know if you guys read that article, because they talk about how New Light's changing because of the Beyond Light,
Yeah.
what's leaving.
Shah
There's a
Han.
completely new Guardian that's going to be teaching him,
Oh,
wearing oddly specific things that Uldren used to have, having a helmet, and that at some point in time it's going to play out that that's him. Because I'm all for him coming back. I was happy he came back. I was surprised because I loved that brother sister duo. That was one of my favorite parts of the Reeve. Was they just did not give two craps, and I want her to come back, and I want him to come back. But I
Okay.
know it's going to cause problems.
But are they going to come back together? Like, we don't know what she's going to do when she finds out. Well, she has to know he's reborn,
She
right?
has to.
Remember, when they had the Battle of Crotia, and everybody thought she was dead. He knew. He was like, I feel her. She's not completely gone. I may not see her, but I feel her. That's why he was so obsessed with finding her eventually. And it just so happened she got lucky. She got pulled into an ascendant realm. She was able to, technically she did die, but her spirit didn't die. So she was able to kind of be reborn. And so Uldren spent all of his time looking for her spirit to bring her back. That's why he trusted so much to was it Savathun that ended up being his downfall?
Riven
I
got
know we just
Riven
see
got
it.
taken,
It was Riven, wasn't it?
Savathun was involved. Yeah.
Was it Riven or
and
was it?
Savathun both.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Now-
that's all he did was he was looking for his sister, and that's why when people are like it's so pissed off that he became a guardian, I'm like, well, think about the 3 things that make a guardian. It's all about sacrifice, it's about commitment, and it's what's the third thing? Blanking right now. But I'm like, if you just look at those 3 things, that is Aldrin. He is all 3 of those. It's not the way we think of it. It's a
True.
different form, but that is it. That is why Pulled Pork chose him, is because
And Pulled Pork is considered to be the most kind-hearted and loving of all the ghosts, like
Okay.
the most innocent and pure of all the ghosts.
yep.
So for him to choose Aldrin only really feeds into that.
So how did Aldrin come about having a ghost?
It found
You-
him. He
It
was
found him.
on the. he
Well,
was buried
he
on the
was-
Dreaming City.
Yeah,
So
he
it's
was
just a
laid
random
to rest
ghost?
in the Dreaming City, and he had was just hanging out in this little area, and Pulled Pork is just going around the world trying to find people, and he came across and started scanning him, and he's like, ooh.
Well,
Hey.
and there's a thing in the ghosts where they're to find their match. Like there's a connection there that they just don't know about. Kind of like, Ghost finding us in D1 or in the New Light experience. There's something that Pulled Pork had in him that connected him to Aldrin in order for that to happen. And
Right.
it's not like they can resurrect any body.
So because I didn't know, do you realize we all have the same exact ghost? Wouldn't it be cool if every ghost had its own little personality?
Well, yes, it's inferred that is the case. Except it's a video game, and
Right.
we're the main character, even though we're in a massive multiplayer online world
Yeah.
game.
So the other thought I've had about characters is when we were looking at Savathun, I don't think the darkness is at all what we think it is. I think Savathun is the darkness. I think that is the big bad. I think the worm gods and that whole hive lore, which
The sword
that
logic,
is a
everything.
messed up
It-
story. That's the
the-
darkness.
Yeah, the darkness specifically speaks about Savathun as if she's a pest. She's a nuance, or a nuisance, not a nuance. Just something that is there and is slightly annoying, but not of them.
Yeah.
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 I think the reason I
Have you
think
guys
this-
been listening to each week when we finish the interference and then
And
go
then
to the Eris?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've actually been doing, now that we're towards the end, I still haven't done the last one. That's why
Oh,
I've-
you're gonna love it. Trust me.
Yeah.
Juicy
but-
lore.
I'll go back and just keep hitting the X button and keep listening to all the old stories that she keeps talking about. And it's almost like the darkness is mad that Savathun is even in between. It wants to talk to us, and it's pissed off the Savathun is trying to get in our way. I don't
See,
know.
I get a very different view of that story because everything comes back to Savathun. Everything. All the eyes we had to find. There's a whole season about Savathun coming up.
Okay, well, let's look at it this way. If the representative is the traveler for light, and you're saying that, Savathun is the representative for dark, do you think the light and the dark got, what's the word, abducted by the traveler and Savathun, and they started their own war? They
That's
each
an
wanted more
interesting theory.
power. So one chose the power of light, the other one chose power of dark, and the light and dark didn't want either one of them. So that's why the dark is mad at Savathun.
That could be very much the reason why, because there has to be some reason why it's all coming down to Savathun. There has to be. And they could make up the lore and about how the darkness is mad at that, but they're just a bunch of
It-
pyramids
it
right now.
Could be a lot
It's-
of things because Savathun is all about trickery. She is the Loki of this universe. She is the one that plants these seeds in everyone. So it it could be literally anything. Everything that we're doing right now could mean nothing in a year.
Oh, that'll make me so mad. I hunted down
Yeah,
all
that
my
would
guys, y'all.
like
But when I say it could mean nothing, it could be Savathun is directly speaking to Eris and planting these seeds, and it's not actually the darkness communing with us.
so like Eris is the speaker, basically.
Kind of.
Okay, but just a vessel that's being
Yeah.
used.
Yep.
Hmm.
Eris is the one that's like, let's explore the darkness. Let's see if there's any sort of truth here. So that, I mean, like I said earlier, this is very Star Wars. The difference between the Jedi and the Sith, and why the Grey Jedi are so much more powerful, because they have the full understanding of everything. It's kind of leading that way for us. If we're in the gray area and we have a full understanding, we can make a better decision.
Well, what kind of traveler do you think is growing over Eris Morn right now? Because something's growing in the tree and it looks like a traveler.
It does. I think it's a culmination of gathered power from wherever. Just like I think the Drifter is not telling us what he's actually doing with all the darkness that he cleanses off of the engrams. He's going to harness it for something. It's not just to make his taken enemies. I feel there's going to be a lot more to it because we just don't know that much about the Drifter.
Yeah.
So I feel it's the same instance where Eris, she's very, very mysterious, and she always stares at this stupid little crystal that we don't know too much about either. And she talks in rhythms and rhymes, and I'm just going, just shut up and tell me what I'm not a good riddle person. So, but yeah, that could be that could be the same thing.
Right, and we don't know the true impact that Ahamkara bones are still having on Guardians 2.
Yeah.
I mean, we have the lore pieces and the conversations in the prophecy dungeon about the Ahamkara skull above Shaxx. And he's hearing things. He's hearing Savathun's theme.
Well, before we
who else
run out of
was
time
it
about
that
characters.
had a bone? Was it Shaxx or was it Lord Saladin? No, was it just Shaxx that had the
It
bone?
was just Shaxx.
Just
Yep.
Shaxx, yeah.
Okay.
So before we run out of time talking about characters, let's look at the 4 that are going away, some of their lore, and let's figure out what exactly happened to them. I want to start with poor Brother Vance. You were a mere mortal that walked through the infinite forest and went mad. I think of all of the endings, that was the one I was most satisfied with.
Yeah.
Because I hated Brother Vance. He was.
What?
I hated Brother Vance. He was
Why?
obsessive to a point of
He is.
stalkerish.
He
Oh.
is.
Yeah,
He's
he
just a
was.
fangirl.
He was.
That's all he was.
But his robe was cool. I mean,
He just wears the prettiest clothes.
and he gave us weapons.
Yeah, so for him to go into the Infinite Forest, we know we're probably never going to see him again.
Yeah.
Now, we talked a little bit about Sloane and the power suit. They just kind of left it at that. It was kind of vague on what happened next. I'm hoping there's some sort of epic cutscene that kind of shows what happened, because I want to know what this power suit is, where it came from, what it looks like, how, like, is she going to jump off like Ultraman and just like, would it be funny if it was like Ultraman, she turned into like a 50-foot version, it was like punching pyramids and just having fun with that.
That's a Titan for you. Just
Right. I was just gonna say, well, she is a Titan, and yeah, I think she's just gonna fight to the end. I think she's just gonna stay on Titan, and if they destroy her, they destroy her. I don't think she's gonna escape. I think she's done. That's where
there
it's her
could
final
be
stand.
like a good cutscene like we got with Forsaken and D2 and all that, where they're in the city, they're all fighting, the little chicken comes out, all that good stuff. There could be a good little cutscene for each planet and them fighting, and then it just shows death.
Yeah, you see Sloane get Leonidas and killed by the darkness by herself, and Vance walking into the forest and all that other good stuff.
Yeah.
I think
it'll
the
be
two
epic.
that I'm the most curious about is Asher because he could very easily have gotten out of that. And where did he pull it down from? There was no pool of radiochlorium there. Like, what did he call it? Because it was
Radiolarium Lake. So it's
Yeah.
like there's no
Radiolarium
limit
there.
to that
Where did he get it
strike
from?
that we do, and at the end, the way that I pictured it when I was reading it was that he went. You remember at the end where he's like, "Pit? There's no pit. That's a lake." You know.
Yeah.
And so we go down, and then we're gonna fight the mind, Brachius mind, is that what it's called? And I feel like that's probably where he's at. And he just looks up and he grabs it and he just pulls it down to himself. Now, what is he gonna do after that? And then like others
does he get out?
said in here, the Vex probably have a really big correlation with the darkness. Because
What is Asher? What your race
he's
is?
awoken.
he's
He's
an
an
awoken
awoken.
warlock, guardian, who when he went in, he was with, because him and Eris are actually really good friends.
Weren't they in the same fire team at one point?
That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
That
And
definitely
so they
fits.
had went into the infinite, not the infinite forest, but on
Midian?
yeah, Pyramidion. And that's where they were all kind of getting bombarded. And he passed out and they woke up with his arm taken off, and that the Vex had put a Vex arm on him. He thought he was already going to be dead. And then he's like, oh, I got a new arm. All right, cool. But then the arm itself starts trying to take control of the rest of his body.
Because it's Vex.
Yes. And so that's where he wanted to start exploring what makes a Vex, because the Vex are not born and they are
Yeah.
not created.
They're organic and mechanical.
Right. But where do they come from? How do they exist?
That is good.
Well, and we know, well, we can infer that they are not of the darkness because of the final interference mission.
Yeah.
Because
And
that's
then
even
last,
said in some of the lore was the darkness is coming, and is it trying to figure out the secrets of the Vex? Because nobody knows the Vex. That's why Osiris is in there. That's why Asher Muir is on his planet trying to figure out. Nobody has any idea. Where do you come from? What's going on?
So
The Awoken
Lightfall is
To
going
the
to be
garden.
Vex.
they were, hold on, they were stuck in a weird space-time continuum that I believe the Hive and the
Rhoda
Three
found-
Sisters, when they
Yeah.
made the alternate plane, broke that. That's how they came out.
Yep.
There's a
Crota-
huge
Crota
lore
and his
about how they
sister
got out, and
originally
like
found them
I
in
find the Vex very weird because they were the one species not in the last interference mission. Because I have a picture I showed you guys on
Yep.
Discord, which we'll probably talk about sometime. What is this? Never seen anything like it before. Because there's no Vex there.
Are you talking about at the very end?
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
I did
you're running and
notice-
it's the 4 groups.
Yeah.
Everyone just runs through, and I'm like, I want to go explore. I'm like,
No, I
what is
explored the
this?
heck out of it. There was
Um,
one weird species. Yeah. It's,
Well, and that's inferred to be, guardians or humans or exos. But, again, like I was saying in the Discord, is the Vex and the exos there's a connection there. So we're not entirely sure what that means yet.
we could have made the Vex in an alternate timeline. Just like, if you want to look at it like the Matrix, they built the machines, then the machines learned, and the machines took over. So are they using other species and races as their organic matter and fluid, and it's just a bunch of AI that we ended up making?
Well, and the Vex are all about learning. And you can read in the Book of Sorrows about the Vex mind that was pulled in and learned the sword logic of the Hive and even competed and almost killed Oryx.
Oh, wow.
All right. Well, the last one we have to go over, and this was the very clear she got away, was Anna Bray, because she went off with a mysterious exoframe,
Yes.
and I love the idea that that's going to be
Cade.
Rasputin. I really
Rasputin.
think
Yep.
she's going to make that Rasputin, and I
I'm
wonder
pretty
how.
sure because out of all the stuff I was reading, she's got her assistant that was helping her out. I can't remember the name right now. bringing everything together after everybody's gone. And she kept saying, no, it's not ready. It's not ready. It's not ready. And her assistant's like, I have to do it now. And whoop, they don't say it's Rasputin, but they really indicate in the story and the lore that they upload it because they said, yes, we have almost all of him. So parts of him were still missing. We couldn't grab all of him, but they kept saying, yep, we've got all of him. And then the story indicates that they uploaded what they had of Rasputin into that exo, which was
I love that.
This
which
isn't
was
That
a,
would be cool.
an experimental exo, by the way. So it's even new and improved versus, say, Banshee or Cade or any of the previous exos we've seen.
well in the original outline story for Destiny. Rasputin was an exo guardian kind of thing that we were
Okay.
supposed to help save before they changed the entire story before launch.
So my question when it comes to this is, they have that entire Rasputin facility there. They're going to have to destroy it because
Yeah.
you can't let something like that fall into the bad guy's hands.
Right.
Mhm.
Especially the
How is-
Vex.
Yeah,
Yeah.
how is this going to play into how he treated Phil Winter and the Iron Lords? Because he was mad. I love the Phil Winter Iron Lord storyline.
That
And the
was
whole
a good,
Siva thing.
yeah.
Like, speaks of a jacked up program. And just how it's going to play out over time, I hope they really play with that. I think that would be an interesting season to have fun with. Like,
Possibly
fixing the
like-
Rasputin Exo.
Like a Rise of Iron 2.0 type thing, or just a little more updated with Rasputin and Anna Bray and all that?
Yeah, some sort of season devoted to that. Like, maybe they didn't get all of them. And this is when they reintroduce Mars. We have to go steep back into Mars, which is completely destroyed and overrated, to
What?
get the other Exo parts for him.
There's
So
still
then-
one Iron Lord.
Yeah.
So
And
And
then-
not to mention that Zavala is extremely pissed off at the results of that storyline with Fellwinter and him
Yep.
finding out that Rasputin killed all the Iron Lords.
I mean, that'd be something to play out. I hope they do it, but don't jack it up like they do some of the other seasons that just kind of go nowhere. Like,
there's still more about Anna and her entire backstory with her family and Clovis Bray and all that we just don't know, just like any other character. So is that going to get revealed to us more in Beyond Light along with other things?
You would think because Clovis Bray made the Exos. I
Yeah.
mean, they all have their hands in it. Anna Bray is part of that. I would imagine she's involved.
The princess, or
But then
whatever.
where does Ada 1 come into play? Because it was Ada's mother who was a forefather or a founding father that created Ada. So are Ada 1 and Clovis Bray, so those two are the Forges, and Clovis Bray, are they kind of a partnership?
Could
Where-
you see the your Forges possibly being a reason why the Vex are a thing, and the Clovis Bray? Like it all comes back to our big mistake.
Maybe.
it could be.
Yeah, like we ended up creating them 200 years down the road, but because of the way that they can manipulate the infinite forest, they have come back. So, it's kind of that whole time travel shit and the, what do they call that when they have like, oh, here's the timeline, but if you change it, it becomes a different timeline. And then
Multiverse.
multiverse.
Multiverse, yes.
Yeah.
So that's been our talk about characters. We're going to definitely revisit this more in the future. And next time on the show, we're going to be talking about this always persistent rumor that Destiny should go like World of Warcraft, where we have definite dark, definite light. We're going to talk about that on the next show. So you want to tune into that. But up next, we're going to have some fun clips. And then we're going to wrap out the show after that. Hey everyone, welcome to our Fire Team Mr. Future clip stream. We're gonna watch some clips that well, this week is mostly mine and stuff that we have, but we're going to be looking for y'all's clips as we go forward. So I'm just going to start this thing out because this is from Destiny 1, and you can see my lovely Glowhoo shader that I miss so much. I miss the original tower a lot, and I miss the days of stupid dance parties. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys. We had the best, and there was always that one guy that would not dance. And you
He
would
was
just
just
see people
watching.
run up and dance and just join in and have fun. Like the old tower, I really miss the old tower. It was like, just stop right in front of him and dance.
Yeah, you really don't see it too much anymore.
No,
Like,
you don't.
well,
Now that you really think about it, that really doesn't happen anymore.
Only one enemy is left.
I just, wow, dude. Like, can we go watch this again? Like,
Only one
that's my
enemy is
boy.
left.
it's
I got the
like,
second
wow.
one in there too. It kind of like faded out of the second one, but yeah, both of those happened.
sniping in
was-
Destiny
yes.
is can be some really amazing things, man.
Yeah.
And then this one happened this week. Y'all,
Grind Brachion's horns into dust and crush
I
its
have
chassis
never
beneath
felt
your
awesome
boot.
faster.
That lake! Tell me, is the Genesis mine dead yet?
What were they using?
They were both using Xenophage, and I had
Right.
my gnawing hunger. And literally, we just scored.
There's a well. The OP
Across
nades.
darkness.
Yep,
Yep. Okay.
Did.
that explains it. Was it also a solar burn that week?
No, it was a void burn.
Wow. Okay.
I'm telling you, it just did not last. I was like, yes, that was hilarious.
I think I've only seen that once, and that was with the Wither Horde, where it just insta deletes things. Man, that's insane.
Tell me how often this has happened to you guys.
Oh god,
How? Like,
a lot. That's. Have you ever hit the
no idea, y'all. I survived that.
I've hit the ship and died. Like it'll do it right above the ship, and I'm like, there ain't nothing I can
I
do
hit
now.
that, like it always puts me right above the ship, and I hit it and die, and I hate it. I hate it. But
It's
last
still
clip,
funny.
this is my absolute favorite Destiny clip of all time that I've ever had. We were at the end of the quarter base. We literally got down. There was, and it gave us the ridiculous. So that was pretty exciting. Like, this is my favorite raid. I would do this raid all the time. I was back, but it as we killed.
Look at all those lines.
Look.
So and so found. So and so found.
Yeah.
Boom.
Look, just one Nighthawk Goldie
That
and a
doesn't
little
happen
bit
in
of
B2 anymore.
primary, and the Oversoul was dead.
So and so got
Oh.
anarchy. That's it.
Yeah, everyone that was the hard one. Everybody got stuff. It was amazing. So yeah, we went clips. You can send them to us. Check the comments. I'll put it there. You can email me or whatever. But it's now time to wrap up the show. We hope you guys have enjoyed Fire Team Adventure. We're going to be back with you guys every other week, having lots of fun with more topics, some more clips. Like I said, we really want your clips. Check the comments, or if you're on Bullet Heads, check the Discord. I'll give you a link there. Upload them and have fun. Because clips are the best part of Destiny. Like, I had so many from
yeah.
Destiny 1. I haven't done enough from Destiny 2 because I used to use the Connect all the time, and now I'm getting used to Google Home. So, thank you guys immensely for being on the show with me. I didn't know what to expect, but we had such a good talk. And I was trying to keep things on time, and it just wasn't happening. So I don't think I'm going to.
I like the way his eyes. A good talk. It was a long talk. Dear God, we talked a lot. That was those odds right there.
Yeah.
Maddie,
I've had a
wouldn't
lot of
shut up.
fun though. I've had a lot of fun. This was great.
So I don't know if you guys have done shows. What did you think of the show so far?
I
Maddie?
loved it.
I love it. I mean, I love it because it's just like we're chatting about something we like, you know. Obviously, I
Wow.
can't stop talking about it, you know.
And that's why I wanted to do this, because you see all these other Destiny shows and podcasts. Those are industry people. Those are people who this is their job.
Yep.
We're fans. We people who love this game, all levels, casual, hardcore, in between, and that's what I've seemed to find that we have in Bullet Heads. That's why I love it so much. I keep shouting out about it because I cannot tell you how much fun I've had in this thing. I've been to so many other ones that have gone nowhere. They were rude. They were elitist, and I just
No,
took a
I hate
chance
that
because I was
mentality.
about to just wipe it off.
That's why Demo
So-
started Bullet Heads, was he had so many bad experiences trying to learn raids. And this was back when it was just like Leviathan and Eater of Worlds. Maybe SOS had just come out. So this is how long ago. And he had so many people who were such assholes to him about trying to learn the raid. He's like, I need to learn it before I can be good at it. I mean, all these LFGs say, know what to do, know what to do. Well, how do you know what to do if you don't?
Exactly.
If you're never
Right.
taught, right?
Yep.
So he started Bullet Heads because he wanted a place where people can come and learn how to do. It started off as learn raids. How do you learn raids in
And
Destiny?
it just evolved into the entire game.
Right.
I,
Now,
I've been with
Demo
Bullet Heads for about 2
himself
years.
is not necessarily as involved anymore. He has passed that hat on
To-
to Mystery.
Lovely Mystery.
Yes, because he's got 2 kids. He's going to school full time. His wife works full time. We've got and but he is the one creating our website. And once we get that done,
Yep.
that'll be going. So he is contributing, but he just can't be physically. I don't know, physically is a big word, but he just can't be.
He's got real life priorities.
Yeah, he's not a Mystery.
Yeah.
I
He
get all
set
of
it up,
those.
and then Mystery took over and goes, I am queen, I am here
I love
every
it.
day.
The Discord queen, by the way. She is the Discord
Yeah.
queen.
When you put me in the tech team, I got all those other channels. Like, I don't know what they are. I'm not touching them. I'm only going to look at tech team. And if you really want to join us and have fun, the link's on the bottom. It'll also be in the comments. And like I said, if you want to be a guest on the show, we're going to be looking for guests in the future. If you have ideas, things we want to talk about, there will be contact info on Discord and on the comments section here on probably YouTube, wherever else you're watching this at. And it will broadcast live.
Yeah,
Premieres will broadcast live all
that
over
would
the
do it
place.
for
You'll be able to
sure.
watch it. And I just have to first say, I owe a huge thanks to Maddie for being the first one who actually reached out, and the group in Discord. It kind of helped me get situated and took me through the first set of raids. I had so much fun. We clicked as a fire team. I did not even expect that. I haven't done that with people I don't know in forever. And then
Yeah.
Arctic's been in a bunch of the raids with us, and I wasn't exactly who everyone was outside of Maddie, but I was learning it. So I may have done some stupid things in some raids with you, so I apologize. Like shooting the wrong thing or going the wrong way.
We have some people in the clan that sound almost exactly alike, so it gets tough sometimes.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I learned what Maddie's character looks like to follow. And then when we would switch up, I'd have to learn what the other ones look like to follow, because the first time I do it, I really tend on making sure I get it, because I pick things really quick. And I haven't really played with PvP very much, but you'll know I will get us in trouble, just so you know.
Me? I'll take you into some PvP or something.
Yeah, so
I'd be like, follow me.
and I'll
Oh
Uh,
no,
can
I
you
gotta
find the
tell you,
architects
Slink,
or
when I
this
brought you in
adventure?
as a trainee, I was like, oh Lord Jesus, thank you for this blessing. You know,
Mhm.
because you already knew how to be a raider, right? And as a raid trainer, like you're used to expecting the worst. Like
Yeah, for sure.
like you're gonna have to explain this 4 times in 4 different ways for them to finally figure out how to get it. And
Yeah.
right now is a horrible time because people only want to get into the raids
because of the triumph, because of the
Especially Spire of
Moments of
Stars.
triumph.
Dear God.
yeah, the one of the names are
The seal.
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 Thank you. God. Yeah, I
I'm
wanted
doing
to
it
say-
because we ran out of time, and I kind of want the ring. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of want the ring, but it's funny because I bring my friends and family to the clan, so they've all joined,
Oh, nice.
and one of them did a raid training with someone who took on like 3 trainees, and over the course of 3 hours, it derailed so bad they all.
Yeah, that's not good. That's
3
not good.
trainees is hard to do. Was
I was
it
like-
GOS?
No, it was
Probably Last Wish or something.
no, it was one of the Leviathan. I don't remember. I have to go text.
If it was
Anyways,
Spire, that's probably the worst one to do with 3 trainees.
it was
with
Spire. It was
That's
the one
rough.
where
It doesn't. It actually
It has
doesn't matter
the-
what raid. 3 trainees in a raid.
Still hard. Yeah.
And then, also I have to huge shout out to iFireman because he's helped me a crap ton.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how that man solo 0 hour heroic, but like, we got through that stuff no problem. And it was funny because my cousin is jumping master. I usually suck, but on the outside of the building, I was like Spider-Man. And she was all bloop, bloop, bloop.
Were you on your Warlock?
I was on my Warlock.
Easiest jump in the game, other than you can't recover. You just gotta jump really high and just float down
I
to wherever
overshoot.
you're going.
All the time.
Over
when it comes to these
really?
missions. I overestimate. Like in Whisper the Worm, I'll hit that wall and boop, I bounce off like at a 90-degree angle.
Well, they
So-
did have a bounce thing going on with the Titans and Warlocks for a little bit, so they could have been during that time period too.
It might have been. So thank you guys for joining me. This is going to be our normal host of the show. Like I said, send us clips more. All the info is going to be in the comments or in Discord. And tune in for the next episode in another 2 weeks of Fire Team Adventure.